I want to start the program off today by talking about an article that was published last month in the journal Headache, the Journal of Head and Face Pain, headlined "Asthma May Increase the Likelihood of Chronic Migraines." These kinds of conclusions linking diseases to each other is very important. It's called comorbidity, as in co, as in together, morbid, as in meaning sickness. These are diseases that appear together, and they're very relevant for understanding and addressing the causes of disease. Asthma in particular is comorbid or associated with lots of health issues, including digestive problems, skin issues, now migraine headaches, according to the journal Head and Face Pain anyway. So what is it that all these health issues have in common? Migraine headaches, digestive problems, asthma, skin conditions like eczema or psoriasis. What is the underlying link that connects these seemingly, apparently disconnected health issues? Well, it's called the immune system. These are all immune system dysfunctions, and the calling card of immunity is inflammation. Whether you're talking eczema, psoriasis, whether you're talking asthma, migraine headaches, whether you're talking digestive health issues, you're looking at an attack in the body, an immune system activation that's manifesting itself as inflammation. The immune system is the body's defense department, and the inflammatory chemicals are the weapons of the defense department. Probably the most important of these inflammatory weapons are substances that we call antibodies. Anti, against, bodies, primarily living things or components of living things. The immune system, or antibodies, attacks bacteria, funguses, parasites, or components of living things, particularly proteins. You have 5 different antibodies, and they are known by different letters. Antibodies are synonymous with the term immunoglobulins, or IGs. And you've got 5 different ones, G, E, M, A, and D. You probably have heard of them, IgE or IgA. For example, the presence of these antibodies is indicative of some kind of defensive response, some kind of allergic response. You got immune globulins, you got Igs in the case of migraines. You've got them in the case of asthma. You've got them in the case of skin issues, all skin issues pretty much, but particularly eczema and psoriasis. If you've got high levels of antibodies, that means, by definition, folks, you got a defensive response. This is so important to understand, because once we figure this thing out, once we understand that the immune system, immune responses, inflammatory responses are a sign that there's something that the body's defending itself from, well, then it's just common sense to look for an offending agent. And the first place to look when you have an offending agent, whether it's showing up as migraines or asthma or eczema or psoriasis, is something getting into the blood. And unless you're an IV drug user and injecting it in through your skin, the odds are pretty darn good that something's getting into your blood through your digestive system. The immune system is composed of protein. Antibodies are a kind of globular protein. Glob means literally globs in the blood. They look like a blob of jelly under a microscope. And these globular proteins make up a very, very serious part of our biochemistry. Enzymes, for example, are globular proteins. Your digestive enzymes, or all enzymes, are globular proteins. Nothing happens in the body without enzymes. No digestion will occur without enzymes. No chemistry at all will occur without enzymes. And these are globular proteins. You also have globular proteins in the immune system. Antibodies are globular proteins. Immune globulin. One of the best ways to support your immune system, or to support globular proteins, is to eat them. Yes, you can eat globular proteins. Lots of foods contain these globular proteins, and when we eat them, we support our own globular proteins. Eggs, for example, are a true power food, and they're a great source of these globular proteins. So are dairy. So is dairy. Whey, for example, is a wonderful source of globular protein. This is one of the reasons why dairy and whey in particular are such powerful, powerful foods. The globular proteins that support the immune system of the baby cow or the baby mammal, whatever kind of milk you're drinking, those globular proteins can be transferred to us. We can support our immune system by eating globular proteins, and this makes eggs and whey powerful immune-boosting foods. Now, you got to be careful with whey and egg, because you can be allergic to globular proteins just as much as they can be helpful. So when we have a milk allergy, or we have a dairy allergy, or we have an egg allergy, typically we're allergic to the globular proteins. You got to be careful with your whey, and you got to be careful with your egg. But as long as you're able to ingest these kinds of proteins, they're super, super important for health. The other kind of proteins are the fiber proteins, collagen and elastin, the stuff that makes our bones solid, the stuff that keeps our skin taut. Those are fiber proteins, and you can likewise take advantage of fiber protein in foods to boost your own fiber proteins. This is one of the reasons why meat can be a powerful food, and this is one of the reasons why bone soup is such an important food. The fibery proteins that are found in the cartilage of chicken bones go into the water. You eat the soup or drink the soup, and you get those fibery amino acids that will help you build your own collagen and build your own connective tissue. Globular proteins float around in water. Fiber proteins are kind of solid. Globular proteins interact with liquid. This is one of the reasons why globular proteins can be reactive, and this is one of the reasons why globular proteins can be a problem. Gluten, for example, contains globular proteins. And it's these globular proteins in gluten that we react to when we have a gluten allergy. Beans and legumes also contain globular proteins that can cause immune reactions. If you understand that it's the globular proteins that cause these reactions, you can see why digestive enzymes may benefit. Folks who have food allergies, digestive enzymes help the body process these globular proteins. Your ultimate enzymes after meals, a little bit of apple cider vinegar with your ultimate enzymes can help the body digest and process these globular proteins. And if you have a dairy allergy or you have an egg allergy, you may be able to get away with eating these kinds of foods if you use your digestive enzymes, your ultimate enzymes from Longevity. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program. We're coming back with more good health information. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552 toll free. We do have a couple lines open for you. We'll be back after this.
Good liver health is vital to your overall health. Did you know the liver is the largest gland in the body? Generating digestive enzymes, converting fat into fuel, controlling metabolism, regulating cholesterol in the blood, and neutralizing toxins and waste products. Decreased liver function can lead to debilitating diseases. Hepal, a proprietary blend exclusive to Prohoba International, can help support healthy liver function. Hepal is a blend of natural organic pollen extracts, including essential enzymes, botanical glutathione, which is considered to be one of the most powerful antioxidants for detoxifying free radicals and exogenous compounds, superoxide dismutase, and aloe vera, formulated to cleanse and support healthy liver function. If you'd like to have healthy liver function, call your local longevity distributor today, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
In recent years, several studies have discovered the healthy benefits of drinking coffee. Longevity has now taken it a step further with an entire product line of healthy coffees from Longevity's JavaFit line of top-shelf gourmet coffees. All JavaFit coffees are made from 100% premium, hand-selected Arabica coffee beans grown in the finest regions of Latin America, all carefully roasted, creating a delicious, rich, full-bodied flavor. If you're looking to lose weight, try JavaFit Diet Plus 62, a high-energy, gourmet coffee fortified with a blend of nutrients such as gambosia, citrus, and an extra shot of caffeine to pump up energy and help achieve a healthy weight. Unlike most diet drinks, you won't taste a difference. But for this to work, you can't load your coffee with cream and sugar. Contact your local Longevity distributor to get Javalution coffees. And don't forget to ask about the home-based business opportunity.
Many believe that all life began in the Earth's oceans. We do know that the oceans and seas are still abundant with life and life-sustaining nutrients. Many cultures have long believed in the life-giving properties of plants and sea life harvested from the oceans. Longevity's Ocean's Gold is a proprietary blend of seaweeds, algae, mosses, kelp, sea cucumbers, and sea minerals, as well as coenzyme Q10, calcium, and iron, all designed to help support healthy thyroid function, regular heartbeat, normal weight, mood stabilization, and hormone levels. Take advantage of life-sustaining nutrients from the Earth's oceans with Longevity's Ocean's Gold. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
With increasing rates of osteoporosis, it's becoming more and more evident that most Americans have low blood levels of calcium. Some would say,
I get all the calcium I need from dairy products.
Unfortunately, that's just not true. Besides, most dairy products are homogenized and can contain steroids and antibiotics that kill off good bacteria in the digestive system. Not to mention, the human body needs magnesium to make use of dietary calcium. That's why Youngevity developed OsteoFX Plus, containing bioavailable plant-derived forms of vitamin D3, calcium, magnesium, zinc, copper, and glucosamine sulfate. OsteoFX Plus is formulated to support healthy bones and joints. Not to mention, OsteoFX Plus tastes great, unlike other products that taste like chalk or dirt. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
What's up, Doug?
Oh, it's great to have you back on the show. I
Thank
found
you.
this one a little interesting as it just, there's a lot of good things found in mushrooms, but I wouldn't have, I was a little surprised to see this one as it's a Fox News story headline, single dose of magic mushroom ingredient did months of good for cancer patients.
Magic mushrooms.
Yeah, they say people who receive life-threatening cancer diagnoses find themselves battling depression and anxiety. They might want to consider magic mushrooms. This all comes from scientists at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, announced at the meeting of the American College of Neuropsychopharmacological, and they say a single dose of the hallucinogenic ingredient called psilocybin appears to have a protective effect that lasts for 6 months. So found in 200 different mushroom species, psilocybin can give users hallucinations, nausea, and a distorted sense of time. This is all coming from the International Business Times, and they said to study its effects on the cancer patients, Roland Griffiths and colleagues compared low and moderately high doses of psilocybin in 51 patients. The day the drug was administered, those with the higher doses exhibited substantially greater effects, including perceptual changes and mystical-type suggestive experiences. They go on to say that when the patients were checked 5 weeks and 6 months later, the higher dose group continued to experience reduced mental health problems compared to the low dose group. Researchers write, quote, a higher percentage of the higher dose group reported the experience to be among the 5 most personally meaningful of their lives, 54% versus 16%. It does piggyback a study that was done in 2011 showing similar effects in 12 cancer patients. I just found that kind of, there's a lot of good things about different mushrooms, that have all kind, a lot of the longevity
Major
products.
medicine. Big time medicine.
Big time. But I was a little surprised to see that one because, the whole different connotation as people use that more of a relaxation type.
They use it for lots of reasons. Mushrooms didn't used to be illegal. It's only been about 50 years that they were illegal. There was a guy named Gordon Wasson. Do you ever hear of Gordon Wasson? He worked at the CIA, and he was a big shot at J.P. Morgan back in the 1950s. He was like a major player in the government and in business. And he went off to Mexico in the 1950s, and he supposedly discovered mushrooms. He made the cover of Life magazine in 1957. There was a big headline story on Gordon Wasson and the magic mushroom. And mushrooms back then were considered to be a spiritual tool. Actually, that's what Gordon Wasson was using it for. That's what he was talking about using it for. He actually noticed that the Indians in Mexico were using it for spiritual reasons, and it didn't really become taboo or illegal until the early 1960s. But until then, magic mushrooms were considered to be a legitimate source of religious experience for native people in Mexico, and Gordon Wasson recommended that lots of people use it, that it wasn't just used for Native Americans. Of course, then the 60s hit and drug phobia hit. It's kind of interesting how we're okay with Prozac, and we're okay with antidepressants, and we're okay with these toxic drugs that really do nothing medically, but definitely do lots of stuff from a toxicology point of view. But we're not okay with illegal drugs for some reason. Now, I understand heroin and cocaine and crack, but what exactly is the problem with hallucinogenic mushrooms or hallucinogenic drugs? Are there any health issues associated with them? I haven't heard of any.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, I haven't heard of any kind of health problem.
I have heard of, over the years of people having, quote, the bad trip or whatever that might
right, but I'm talking
affect
about
them
long-term health
psychologically.
crises.
But I don't see that. And, as you mentioned, the heroin, we have a major heroin epidemic in this country at this time. And guess what's driving it? It's these opioid painkillers that are prescribed by doctors.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
people
that's a
get
good
hooked
point.
on those because they're highly, addictive.
They don't get a prescription.
And when they can't get their prescription renewed, and they can't afford to renew their prescription, what do? They turn to the street opioid and heroin. And I've seen countless news reports where they're linking those two together, but you don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it.
And, they talk about the painkiller problem, but they don't add in the heroin problem associated with that.
Because it's cheap on the street compared to the
strong
pharmaceutical drug.
And pure now, or relatively pure now. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program. We're going to take a break and come back with more good health information and your phone calls as well, 831-685-1080. 831-685-1080. That's your priority line number, or toll-free 888-379-2552. Don't go away. We've got more good stuff coming up right after this break. I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today. As long as we're talking, Douglas, about getting stoned, how's this one? Moderate drinking may be tied to fewer deaths in early Alzheimer's disease. Did you hear that one?
No, I didn't see that one. What are they
Moderate drinking.
Are they drinking like red wine with a lot of resveratrol in it? Or
apparently it says just alcohol, according to this article anyway. People with early Alzheimer's disease who consumed moderate amounts, I don't know what they mean by moderate amounts, of alcohol every day. That's everyday drinking. Moderate amounts were less likely to die during a recent one-year study researchers found. And then, according to the doctor, the lead author of the study, Dr. Sine Bernsten of the University of Copenhagen, these results, this is a quote, these results are somewhat surprising because Alzheimer's disease is a neurodegenerative disease, and we know alcohol can have harmful effects on the brain, unquote. I would suspect that alcohol activates the relaxation nervous system. Small amounts of alcohol. Large amounts of alcohol, of course, are a stressor on the body, but just a moderate amount may activate the relaxation nervous system and lower inhibitions and cause some relaxation, going to show how important it is to lighten up, even if you have to use a little bit of alcohol to do it.
Who funded the study? Jack Daniels?
No, it's from Copenhagen. I don't know what they drink in Denmark, but it wasn't an American study. People at 2 to 3 drinks a day had a 77% lower risks of death than those who had one or fewer drinks per day, according to after accounting for gender, age, and education, and smoking, the researchers reported. This was published in the British Medical Journal. So a little bit of alcohol. I've always known that a little bit of alcohol increases lifespan, but a lot of that is associated, as you say, Doug, with resveratrol and some of the phytonutrients that are found in wine. Drinking wine with food, though, you got to be a little bit careful when you drink wine with food, because wine contains something called tannic acid or tannins, and these tannins can sometimes tie up minerals, specifically iron. So for folks, and iron in plants is difficult to get out of the or absorb anyway. So if you're drinking wine with your spinach or with your kale or other iron-containing veggies, it may impair your body's ability to extract the iron from those veggies. Meat, not so much a problem, because the iron in meat is much more available. But a little bit of wine, a little bit of alcohol, hey, as it turns out, it may not be such a bad thing, especially if you have Alzheimer's disease, at least according to...
Well, you also have to wonder that if it's something that's maybe not even quite that related, it could even be something as that the people that are drinking every day are maybe people
social.
Who
more
are
social?
Maybe more social, but also it may be that they're the type of person that isn't quite as concerned about their daily health, and so they may be doing things like eating a lot of eggs or something, because we've been told how bad eggs are, but now we're
not paying attention.
Now we're finding that they're not so bad after all, depending on how you cook them.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, sometimes Sometimes the things that we're told that are good for us are not so good for us, and sometimes the things that we're told are bad for us are not so bad for us. And that's the reason we're here. That's the reason why Dr. Wallach is here, helping clear up and bust the illusions in the world of health and nutrition. And there are a lot of illusions in the world of health and nutrition. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 831-685-1080 is our priority line number. 888-379-2552. Toll free. What do you say we hit the phones, Douglas? First time to take a break. We'll have to hit the phones when we come back from our break. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get to you after this commercial. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program on the ZBS Radio Network. It's time to hit our phones. Who's first on the line, Doug?
Let's head to Roswell, New Mexico. And Russ, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Yo, Russ, what's going on?
Hi, Ben.
Hey.
Well, not doing too well here, but...
speak up just a hair. Can I get you to speak up just a little bit, Russ?
Yes. Yes, doing fine over here. Anyway, I have been diagnosed as having hereditary choroidal dystrophy.
Hereditary, what kind of dystrophy?
Choroidal.
Parietal dystrophy.
Right.
Is it parietal dystrophy you're saying? Spell it for me.
Parietal with a C.
Oh, choroidal dystrophy.
Choroidal, yes.
Yes, okay, gotcha.
Okay. And, well, this is after I'd seen about three optometrists. I've got a list here. I got 3 optometrists. I've seen a general ophthalmologist.
And they told you it's from
2
birth?
retinal specialists.
They told you
optic nerve specialist and a cataract specialist.
What did you say? Did you tell? They said it was from birth. Did you say congenital?
Well, that.
What's the first word you said, Russ? I'm going to tell you how you deal with this in a minute. What's
hereditary.
the first? Hereditary. That's what you said. Okay. So here's the deal. Forget hereditary. That's silly. That's doctor gibberish. They tell you it's in your family. They don't understand genetics. That's not how it works. Your eyes are breaking down, bro, and it's not uncommon. The choroid is it's a layer between in the back of the eye, put it that way. It's a layer of blood vessels in the back of the eye. And it makes sense. It'll break down. It's under a lot of stress. And if you're not taking care of yourself from a nutritional standpoint, or there's toxins getting into your blood, or not enough oxygen, all of these can cause blood vessels to break up. The most likely suspect at this point, sounds like you're in your 50s or 60s, Russ. Is that correct?
I'm 63.
Okay. The most likely suspect
Actually,
at this
this hit me about 7 years ago.
Okay. That makes sense. The most likely suspect at this point is going to be sugar. Diabetes and blood problems in the eye go hand in hand. Diabetes is a leading cause of blindness because of blood problems in the eye. The eye's got these very, very tiny microscopic blood vessels, and sugar represents an explosive toxin. And when sugar levels rise in the blood, the chances of explosions, microscopic explosions in these blood vessels it becomes pretty significant. And this is why eye problems go hand in hand with diabetes, including blindness. So first thing you want to do is you want to start to stabilize your blood sugar by eating less sugar. For that goes without saying. If we want to pick one thing to do to increase our longevity, improve lifespan, and general health, it would be to decrease the amount of sweets and processed sugars that we eat. And by the way, it doesn't have to be processed sugars. Bread and potatoes and fruit sugars, those can be just as significant a problem. Keeping your intake of those foods down to a minimum, not necessarily zero tolerance, but as close to zero as you can get, is going to be in your interest. Make sure you're using the sweeties after all your meals. Chromium and vanadium are powerful sugar processing minerals. So is selenium, and so is zinc for that matter. Get yourself on the Healthy Start Pack. Make sure you're drinking lots of water if you fall off the wagon and you go crazy with sweets or holiday season and holiday parties. After you eat sweets or after you eat bread or starchy foods that break down into sugar, if you drink a lot of water, you'll dilute your blood sugar. And this can be also very important first thing in the morning when your blood sugar tends to be concentrated. The B vitamins are mega important. super important for helping the body process sugar. And the more you're going to the bathroom and the more water you're drinking, the more likely you are to have B vitamin deficiency. Thiamine, vitamin B1, and niacin, vitamin B3, both very important for sugar metabolism. That's where your Beyond Tangy Tangerine comes in. And of course, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine will get you potassium and sodium and calcium and magnesium, all of which are also important for sugar metabolism. If you have any digestive issues, you want to correct those. The Ultimate Enzymes and the probiotics, the Biolumin Nightly Essence can be important for you. And don't forget your Fucoid Z is an all-around tonic. Thanks for your call, Russ. Hope we helped you out. Got to take a break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Dead Doctors Don't Lie program. We'll be back right after this.
You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463.
I am Judy DeVilbus. Here I am speaking to you again. I just wanted to tell you that recently I started drinking the Whey Shakes again, the chocolate Whey Shake. And you need to remember, the Whey Shake isn't just for losing weight. It's a fantastic place to get your great protein. And if you're trying to gain weight, you can take it along with your meals. And the best part is, if you want to just have a great protein shake, do like I do. Put it over ice, stir it up, and you can sip on it for 20 minutes to an hour. I do it every single day. I absolutely love it. You need to get back to it too. It's really good for you. And it makes not fat, but it makes muscle after you work out. And you can also mix it up in a blender with an egg, and you have the most incredible health protein shake. Or mix it with a little water, stir it up, and you have a little pudding. And who doesn't like pudding?
For more information or to order, call your Youngevity distributor today. And don't forget to ask about Youngevity home-based business opportunities.
I'm Pharmacist Ben, along with Doug Winfrey, sitting in for Dr. Wallach today and taking your phone calls at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552. If you have questions about the Youngevity products or ingredients or formulations or health challenges that you or a loved one may be dealing with, let us help you. Let us help you change your life today. Let us help you change the lives of friends, loved ones, family members, workmates today as well. 831-685-1080. is your priority line number, 888-379-2552, toll free. Who's next on the line, Doug?
Let's head to Texas. And Joe, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Joe.
Good
Yo,
afternoon, Pharmacist Ben.
How's it going, man?
Good. I had a question about gluten.
Okay, what's going on? How can we help you?
So, hold on, let me read what my friend of mine asked me, because I was telling him about the 10 foods not to eat.
Okay.
So basically, I was saying if wheat, rye, oats, and barley are not good for you, then how do our bodies...
It's not that they're not good for you, it's that they contain things that can be problematic. There's actually tremendous nutrients in all of those foods, but they're just problematic because you got to deal with the gluten and all the other allergens and components in there that can cause reactions. But there are some good things in barley and rye and oat, certainly protein and zinc and other minerals, but they are problem foods indeed. That is a fact. How can we help you?
So is it just the gluten?
Well, there's other compounds too. Gluten is of a class of compounds, and I probably said this before, but I'll say it again. Plants don't want to be eaten, and so they have evolved these chemicals that will punish the animals that eat the plants. It's kind of like chemical warfare, plant chemical warfare. And gluten is just one of these compounds, but there's lots of them. So you can go gluten-free all you want, but if you're having problems with any of these other compounds, you're still going to have issues, which is why gluten-free is just part of the puzzle. There's lots of other compounds in barley, rye, wheat, grains, fruits, vegetables, plants. We think plants are benign and gentle. As it turns out, plants have some serious compounds in them, seriously toxic compounds in them, potentially toxic compounds in them. Unlike meat and unlike fish, which, by the way, has no toxic compounds. I think there's some fish that has some venom that may be a problem. But for the most part, meat and fish are non-toxic. Plants do contain allergens and toxins. Gluten is one of them. But what is your question, my friend? How can we help you, Joe?
If gluten in wheat, barley, and oats we shouldn't eat for whatever reasons, then why are our bodies... Let's see, hold on.
I'm having a hard time understanding. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm trying to read from the phone. Hold on one second. It's saying, basically, how do we digest plant cellulose, since those aren't good for our body either?
How do we digest plant cellulose? You don't. You excrete it. You don't digest plant cellulose. It comes out of your body. When you eat a plant, when you eat a fruit, and thanks for your call, appreciate it, Joe. When you eat a fruit or you eat a vegetable, you're only getting a very small percentage of that fruit and vegetable into your body. The vast majority, the fibers, the cellulose, the water in there is excreted, maybe 1%, maybe even less of a typical piece of fruit or typical vegetable is actually being incorporated into your body, and that's mostly the sugars and the phytonutrients, the plant nutrients. If there's fats in there, that as well. But most of the plant, most of the vegetables actually excreted out of the body. Cellulose is non-digestible, although the cellulose fiber as it passes through your large intestine can have some beneficial effects for the bacteria. And also for helping you eliminate toxins. So fiber's a good thing, but you're not going to incorporate it into your body. You don't digest cellulose. Hope that helps. Thanks for your call, Joe. Appreciate it. Who's next on the line? Douglas?
Let's head to Nevada. And Sam, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Sam. Sam? I don't hear Sam.
Going once, going twice. Let's head on to North Carolina. And Sandy, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Sandy.
Hi. I have a question on some ongoing issues that I have since a severe automobile accident.
Okay.
And I then was found to have Chiari-1 malformation, which they didn't know before the accident. This was about 16 years ago. And then about a year after the decompression surgery, I also had what do you call it? Where they put the titanium in your neck between C6 and C5, a fusion.
So you were stitched up pretty good. You still have the titanium in there, I take it, right?
Right.
Okay.
And they, after this titanium surgery, they recommended I have it out because I started having what they called neck lockups, or just problems with my neck.
You got some mechanical stuff going on there. For the listeners, Chiari malformation is when the part of the brain actually extends into the spinal canal, into the bottom of the brain. It can cause pain, it can cause discomfort, it can cause all kinds of problems. Actually, as it presses downward into your spinal canal. So here's the deal: you have to focus on inflammation, Sandy. Inflammation is always going to be excessive inflammation is always going to be an enemy, but for you it's a big, big problem. So first of all, the most important source of inflammation is going to be, aside from the mechanical issues that you have, the most important source of inflammation is going to be food. So you have to really, really be taking care of your food. After you eat any foods, inflammatory chemicals are going to spike. Any food, even good food. But certainly processed food, processed sugar, and as we were talking with Joe, gluten and grain substances that are in grains, they can exacerbate inflammation. Processed sugars are really the biggest problem. So staying away from any foods that spike inflammation, that's going to be the most important step at this point. Also, if you have any digestive problems, that's going to impair your ability to absorb nutrition. So you got to work, for both of those reasons, you got to focus on digestive health first and foremost. Biolumin Nightly Essence, the ultimate enzymes, can do double duty for you because they're anti-inflammatory, plus they can help you get nutrients out of your food. Make sure you're using your ultimate enzymes with all your meals. Swig down a little apple cider vinegar, maybe a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar with your ultimate enzymes, and then Don't forget your Biolumin Nightly Essence. That's always important for all digestive health issues, as is the Fucoid Z and the Z Radical. They can help, both of those can help coat the digestive tract, improving healing and improving digestive health, all around digestive health. Making sure you're getting enough fiber is also important for the digestive system. You can grind up flax seeds to get your fiber. Of course, vegetables and vegetable juices are also going to be a good source of fiber. And then don't forget about your Mighty 90 essential nutrients, particularly your ultimate EFAs. I'd be taking 9 of your EFAs. Inflammation and essential fatty acid imbalances or essential fatty acid deficiencies go hand in hand. So anytime you're thinking about anti-inflammation, you want to make sure you're using your essential fatty acids, ultimate EFAs, and you get some vitamin E in there as well, which has some nice anti-inflammatory benefits. If you want to toss in a couple other things, you can try the glucogel caps, which are important for rebuilding all connective tissue and also have anti-inflammatory benefits as well. And then if you want to throw in some of the selenium in the Ultimate Daily, that might not hurt you as well. And if you want your Chiari malformation is a mechanical issue. The car accident's a mechanical issue, but your focus is going to be on keeping inflammation down so that your body can heal and you'll mitigate any damage from your mechanical trauma. Thanks for your call, Sandy. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can get one more call in, Doug.
All right. Well, before we do that, I want to let people know if you ever have trouble getting into the show, we do have some open lines right now. Call us toll-free 888-379-2552 or on the priority line 831-685-1080. And let's head to Santa Cruz, California. And David, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, David.
Hey, Ben. So I had a open heart surgery about a little less than a year ago.
Okay.
And I'm starting to, they knew that there was one area that might still be problematic. So I take a lot of the products, the longevity products. I'm just, what's the best thing I can do to keep myself from having anything like that?
Well, a couple things you're going to want to do. First of all, you're going to want the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for sure. That's your basically the Healthy Start Pack with selenium, which is important for the heart and for the brain. So that goes without saying. But then a couple of things that you might not think about. There's a very important relationship, no surprise, between the digestive system and heart health. And usually cardiovascular problems are preceded by both digestive health issues and blood sugar issues. So between the digestive system and the blood sugar system, those are two hidden causes of heart disease. They're not really that hidden, but we don't talk about them as much as we should. Hang tight, David. We got to take a break, and I'll finish up when we come back. All right, we're back talking to David in Santa Cruz. We do have lines open at 831-685-1080 or 888-379-2552 if you want to get on board. David, you there? David.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so what you have is a blood problem. It's the heart is part of the circulatory system, and the circulatory system is the blood. You got a blood problem. Whenever you have a blood problem, you want to think first and foremost stuff that's getting in there that shouldn't be, and that means food and sugar. So keeping your digestive system super healthy, the less you eat, the better off you're going to be. When you do eat food, eat as little as you need, and make sure you're using your ultimate enzymes with your food. Your ultimate enzymes will do double duty. They'll help clean your blood, and they'll help you process your food. In the same regard, the Biolumin Nightly Essence will do both of those. The Biolumin Nightly Essence will help clean your blood, and it will help you process food. So make sure you're using your Biolumin Nightly Essence as well as your ultimate enzymes with a little bit of apple cider vinegar with all of your meals. Make sure you're on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which is the ultimate EFAs and the OsteoFX and the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which you want to be sipping on all day long. And then also your selenium, which is very important for the heart as well. I'd be using the Sweeties. Make sure you're keeping your sugar down. Any sugars that processed sugars or otherwise are important for you to restrict, and using the Sweeties can help your body process those sugars. As we were talking earlier, if you drink more water or you drink some Beyond Tangy Tangerine, actually, after you eat a sweet meal, that would help you digest that will help you process your sugar, and that will help you dilute your blood sugar. Then there are breathing techniques. Nothing will set the heart off and clog up the blood faster than a lack of oxygen. Make sure you're practicing slow, deep breathing. And you also want to improve your circulation by moving your body. Interestingly, slow, deep breathing will actually help improve your circulation in a muscular sense. Just the lung muscles, the activity of your lung muscles can help push blood around and help push the lymph around. Also getting on a rebounder and doing small amounts, not intense, just a small amount of exercise so you can keep that circulation going. Between your Ultimate Essential Fatty Acids and Beyond Tangy Tangerine, OsteoFX, Ultimate Selenium, Ultimate Enzymes, as well as the Beyond Biolumin Nightly Essence, moving your body around. Make sure you're practicing your deep breathing, restricting your sugar, and lowering and making sure you're on the sweeties. You can go a long way towards protecting your heart and preventing any further problems. And I'd be starting right away if I were you. Thanks for your call, David. Appreciate it. Who's next on the line? Doug?
Let's head over to Gilroy, California. And Dorothy, you're on with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs.
Hey, Dorothy.
Hi, Ben. I'm on a gluten-free diet, have been for a long time. I've also been on the Longevity Pig Pack for a long time. I have a question about oats that are certified gluten-free, but according to sources, they contain a substance called gliadin, and I'd like your opinion.
Okay, that's what we were talking about earlier. It's not just gluten. It's really funny. When I started talking and Doc was talking about gluten 10 years ago, everybody was like, what? What are you talking about? What's gluten? Nobody really heard of it. Now, you've got all of this marketing associated with gluten, basically so people can sell us gluten-free beer and gluten-free brownies. So now we're obsessed with gluten. Problem is, there's lots of other things in grains that are a problem. And lots of other things in vegetables that are a problem, even things in some fruits that are a problem. So it's not just gluten. In the case of oats, you got several problems. Number one, as you pointed out, there are other factors in oats that may not be gluten, but can still be problematic. And by the way, you can tell if a grain is going to be an issue by how sticky it is in the pot. You know how they say oatmeal sticks to your ribs? You ever hear that? Ma'am, are you there?
Yes.
You know how they say oatmeal sticks to your ribs? What they really mean is it sticks to your intestine, and that's the problem. Gluten is glue, and these substances that make grains and oats and rice stick in the pots also stick to your gut. And when they say stick to your ribs, what you want to hear is sticking to your intestinal lining, and that is not a good thing. So oats can be just as big a problem as wheat and barley and any other grain, and not to mention the fact that a lot of times they're contaminated with gluten. A lot of times in these gluten-free factories, they're still processing gluten foods, and gluten contamination can occur. Even just breathing gluten can sometimes be a problem for some folks. And even bakers will tell you that you can have gluten topical reactions too. So it's not just gluten that's the problem. Point is well taken. You can have a problem with oats, corn, other supposed non-gluten containing grains. And thanks for your call. Appreciate it. And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for listening, friends. If you're on the bubble, on the fence about longevity, you owe it to yourself to at least try the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I've been using it myself for 18 years. I've been seeing the life transformations that occur with not just the BTT, but all the longevity products. Thanks for listening, friends. Have an awesome, spectacular, beautiful day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Andy Anderson here. Are you using those handy little bottles of gel that zap germs, bacteria, and other nasties? In today's world, that's smart, especially with all the filthy doorknobs, shopping carts, and handrails we touch every day. Here's what you may not know. Once the alcohol evaporates, goodbye effectiveness. No more protection until you use it again. PureWorks to the rescue. Our FDA-compliant foam, lotion, soap, and spray do not rely on alcohol. Their killing power lasts up to 4 hours. PureWorks disinfecting spray is EPA certified to kill swine flu, bird flu, MRSA, HIV, hepatitis B and C, and a whole host of viruses and bacteria. Mold and fungus too. It's even safe around children and pets. You'll love the soft feel of PureWorks on your hand. It actually conditions and will not dry your skin. Here's a little peace of mind knowing your hands are still germ-free hours later. Get your hands on PureWorks and get PureWorks on your hands. Stand by. Pull out your paper and pencil for your local number to order PureWorks.
Working or playing, your body is losing more than just water. That's why it tastes salty. But what you're sweating out is more than just salt and potassium, as some sports drinks will have you believe. One of the most well-known sports drinks only has 2 nutrients, and it's loaded with sugar. Some have a mineral or two with a couple of vitamins. Longevity's exceptional sports drink, Rebound FX, is chock full of cancer-fighting antioxidants, a full spectrum of vitamins, plant-derived minerals, and herbs. Rebound FX is a highly absorbable liquid supplement that gives you quick, sustained energy. Rebound FX supports cardiovascular health, immune health, and boosts stamina and energy. Don't short yourself during and after your workout with just a couple of nutrients. Drink Youngevity's Rebound FX for optimal health. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Hey, if you're like me, your life is hectic. You don't know where you're going to be next. Between kids and family and in-laws and work and traffic and everything else that's driving me crazy right now, my life is insane. I bet your life's insane as well. When do we have time to get every single nutrient we need to be healthy? When? Well, I've got a tip for you. Take a product called Pollen Burst. It's so simple, even I can do it. All you have to do is open the package, pour it in water, mix it up, and bam, you're ready to go. It tastes great. It's not one of those medicine tasting things. It tastes great, low in calories, helps curb your appetite, gives you natural energy that doesn't let you crash, gives you your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, everything from the plant world. And I gotta tell you, for a busy person like me or a busy person like you, we need simple, we need good. Pollen Burst is your answer. Tastes great. Try it, and you'll feel better.
Call your local Youngevity distributor to find out how Pollen Burst can make you feel better. And don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. You've listened to physician and veterinarian Dr. Joel Wallach help many people on the Dead Doctors Don't Lie talk radio program. You've also heard hundreds of people tell how Dr. Wallach and Youngevity products have changed their lives. If you're now convinced that Dr. Wallach is onto something and you want to try Youngevity's premium quality products for yourself, we can connect you with a distributor that serves your local area. Simply call our special helpline voicemail at 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call right now and leave your name, telephone number, or email address, and we'll see to it that the right person contacts you shortly. Remember, the phone number, 313-444-3463. That's 313-444-3463. Call now to change your life. That's 313-444-3463. Rich, decadent chocolate that's actually good for you. Youngevity's Triple Treat chocolate is just that, an antioxidant-rich dark chocolate complete with probiotics to aid in proper digestion. This all-natural product contains no preservatives, and for those with dietary restrictions, it's gluten-free, dairy-free, glycemic-friendly, and kosher certified. Not only does Triple Treat dark chocolate taste fantastic, it contains super antioxidant blueberries to absorb free radicals with an ORAC value of 16,936 per piece. Triple Treat chocolate also contains a proprietary blend of probiotics with over 500 million live healthy bacteria per 8 grams at the time of manufacture, with 80% reaching the intestines, which is much more than most live culture yogurts. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Youngevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.
Through his research as a veterinarian, Dr. Joel Wallach discovered that most health problems afflicting livestock can be prevented and even reversed. Many of these same health challenges also occur in humans. These too can be prevented and reversed. Doc's original formula, called the pig arthritis formula, alleviated all arthritis symptoms in animals. The same basic formula has been developed for humans, called the Pig Pack, which includes plant-derived minerals, a multiple vitamin complex, glucogel, and EFAs. Add to that Youngevity's OsteoFX Plus, a proprietary blend of liquid calcium, magnesium, and glucosamine. Now you have the Pig Pack Plus to make up the 90 essential nutrients Dr. Wallach has identified as necessary for sustained good health and longevity. If you'd like to learn more about nutritional supplementation, call your local Longevity associate, and don't forget to ask about home-based business opportunities.